Hello. I was in a shower. I kind of thought about the evolution of like me changing who I am as a person. And I understand that sometimes when it comes to like changing or whatever, it's not the easiest process. But I realized what helped me be able to kind of start walking in a certain light. Like when I was younger, of course I moved around a lot, and I think that's something that's vital for like just the human experience period is being able to like be in different parts of the world so that you can understand that not everything basically so you can just not have a sheltered mindset so you don't sit around thinking that nothing really changes or things are supposed to operate in just one different way. It allows you the opportunity to be able to see that things are more exciting and they're more beneficial when you're able to experience different, versions of life. So that's something that has helped me. I never really had to, get used to it because that's just something I've been dealing with all my life. Like literally since I was a child, I've been everywhere and nowhere at the same time. But yeah, I remember. Well, I was about to say I remember when I left for college, but this kind of mentality happened more so before I went to college. This was after I got kicked out when I was 15. I would go live with my dad, and I had to switch schools. And switching schools that wasn't nothing new to me, especially then. Like, girl, I probably had been in my eighth school by then. So I had switched schools, and that school year, I didn't talk to nobody. I didn't talk to anybody at all. Like that whole semester. Well, I can't lie. I did. I talked to a few people. Probably like I can count on one hand how many people I interacted with or even tried to consider being friends with. And then out of all of those people on that one hand that I can count, there's only one that I've probably like seen outside of that. And that was because we ended up going to the same college. Like that's why. So like I really didn't take my experience there too serious. That was just kind of like a recalibration type of moment for me cuz ninth grade year it was very hectic for a lot of people because of me. And sometimes you got to do what you got to do to break free, and I had to do what I had to do. I broke free. So I kind of just had a period of trying to get my mind and stuff together. And that's when I really had the idea of nobody really knows me, so I don't have like a certain image to portray. And I think I kind of got not obsessed with the idea, but I loved the idea because it was like I don't know. I don't have to explain why I want to stop doing something. I don't have to explain why I choose to this fly flying around my head about to piss me off. I don't, I don't have to explain that to anybody, not even my father, because I was at a point where he didn't really know me either, because he had basically probably like a year or two before then just re-entered my life. So it was like, girl, I don't have to explain anything to anybody, and I don't have to portray a certain image or, you know, pretend to be a certain way for the sake of other people. I don't have to uphold a certain standard or image for people for the sake of trying to maintain a bond or a relationship or anything like that. So yeah, it started then, and then I switched schools again my 11th grade year, and yeah, I pretty much entered not trying to pretend to be something I wasn't, but more so trying to portray something that I want to be. It wasn't a sake or a matter of trying to act as if I was something that I wasn't. It was something that I was trying to transform into. And I think that's a great mentality because there's one thing, this is something they talk about when you manifest a lot. You have to try and walk in that image of the person who has the things that you're, trying to go for. But I guess that's what the fuck I was doing. I just didn't know that I was doing it like that. But I was already in that certain area that I wanted to be in. And plus, it was like a fresh start for me. That's why it became so necessary to me that I went to college outside of Houston because being in Houston, a lot of my trauma stemmed from here, like a lot of it. And a lot of the narratives that I felt like I had to portray or play into also stemmed from here. And I wanted to let go of a lot. Like I genuinely wanted to not even start over. I just wanted to sorry. I guess you could say start over, whatever. I just wanted to do things differently and see where that could get me because I already could see the difference in who I was when I was in ninth grade versus who I was in 11th grade, especially by the end of the year. And around this time, that's when COVID hit. And so it was a lot of self reflection going on. That's why when COVID hit for me, it wasn't really as bad as everybody else portrayed it to be. And that's why when I speak about my experience during the quarantine time, like I had a blast because I was already so used to, being alone with myself or whatever. So that was just that. But it was a lot of people that wasn't used to having that alone time. And I definitely think that COVID changed the trajectory of so many people's lives. Like a lot of people are saying something happened during then and like things haven't been the same, but I feel like it probably feels like that because of how much alone time we got. A lot of people wasn't used to being able to, be in isolation or sit at home and think. A lot of people was just on autopilot for like years. So of course that did something to their brain chemistry because it did something to mine before COVID when I had to just sit and reflect on my life period and I was young during this. I'm still young now, but like I was like teenage young. Like I was young. So that's that. But I definitely went into college with the mindset of trying to be more firm within certain stuff that I wanted to strengthen, like my boundaries. I didn't really have any boundaries for myself. I didn't. I didn't. And it was really bad. And then there was a situation where I tried to stick to or where I try to respect my own personal boundary after. How can I explain this without really putting my business in the street? There was just a situation where I had already left off for school. So this mindset or this certain character that I wanted to strengthen within myself, I was already walking in that. But when I came back home, it was a matter of like people not taking that shit serious, basically. It was a matter of certain friends not respecting that. Like I ended up cutting so many people off. How many like 4 years ago, around my birthday time, I cut so many people off around it was either like a couple days before my birthday and not even either. It was a couple days before my birthday and it was literally a couple days after. Like I was on a cutoff spree. Like all those people from high school I do not associate with. It's a handful and barely even a handful. I could probably it's a little pinch of people that I still communicate with from high school. And it's so crazy just seeing the trajectory of people trying to hold on to, friendships from like way back when. I'm not saying, people can't have healthy friendships that last that long. I'm not saying that at all, but I know like all them people that you knew way back when, There's no way. I just can't. I can't hold on to shit that doesn't make sense. And being that I grew up going to school in the hoods and stuff, you know, a lot of people is not breaking out of that restricted mentality. A lot of people have a limiting mindset. So for sure, I have to let go of that. Especially being a person that's just so used to moving all around and stuff. A lot of them wasn't used to that. A lot of people didn't have that opportunity. So that was just that. But that's neither here nor there. Yeah, I definitely had to let go of certain people in order to be able to be more strategic and firm with the boundaries that I wanted for myself. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm starting to feel like every time it comes a point where I want to strengthen like something about myself, I'll be feeling like I low key need to get away, you know? I'll be feeling like I don't need to be here. And it's not even here as in Houston. I feel like it's very common for people to go through things like this when it comes to where they were born and stuff like that. Like, I love Houston, but I don't feel like this is a place that I'm meant to just remain. And it's not even for the sake of just wanting to leave forever. It's more so for the sake of, you know, starting here, going off somewhere to think differently, and then coming back and I guess applying whatever it is that I learned there over here, and then finding somewhere else to venture off, coming back. It's like it's a back and forth type of situation, and I low key think that's something that I'm supposed to be maintaining within my life. Always returning back so that I could be able to share or apply the things that I learned. I feel like this is where I'm really able to test the things that I'm putting forth for myself. And so yeah, and that's why I be not beefed out, but that's why a lot of people be having issues with me down here. A lot of people as in my family because it's just certain shit that I'm not willing to tolerate. We get too old for that, and it gets annoying watching people maintain a certain image that's not benefiting for anybody. It's not benefiting them, it's not benefiting the other party. And then they're confused or they're wondering why shit is constantly happening, right? It's doing the same shit over and over and expecting different results. I'm not that type of person. Like if I see something's not working out, girl, what the fuck? If I see something's not working out, why would I continue trying the same fucking method to see if it's gonna work the next time? Like that's stupid. I feel like it's stupid. And there's only so much you can do to try and get a person to or to try and get people in general to, you know, let go of their values and their character to coincide with what you have going on. When there's so much world to explore. There's so much to see. There's so much to learn. So there is it's redundant to just remain in the same spot trying to get a certain result out of people. Girl, go the fuck elsewhere. Work on yourself as you're doing that. You don't have to go nowhere else and portray an image that's not you. You don't have to go nowhere and try to be something that you're not. I feel like if you're really sorry, my ear ringing. I feel like if you're really I don't know if you really see something for yourself, like you see yourself wanting to be a certain way or maintain something, the best way that you could probably do that is go somewhere else and try and mimic that lifestyle because it becomes easier for you to naturally walk in that. And I believe that's what helped me, you know, become the person that I am today. It allowed me to see things differently. It allowed me to actually apply these things with other people before I actually came back home and tried to apply it with my family. Because this is not somewhere that you can do that with. These people will have you like on edge instantly. Like, but yeah, like I've been able to let go of my temper. I used to be so passive aggressive, y'all. I've been able to let go of my irritable state. Like I used to be so irritated so easily. I'm. It's just so easy to pinpoint certain things and triggers and stuff now. Like it's so easy to walk in the lighting that I feel like I'm supposed to walk in. You know, I've always had this idea of who I felt like I was supposed to be, but was I that person? No. But I feel like now at this point, I'm more closer to that idea than I ever was. You know, because I want to be a kind person. I want to be somebody that helps people. I want to be somebody that's able to teach and guide people. But I also don't want to get ran over. You know, I also want to have boundaries for myself. I also want to love myself and be strategic with, you know, the people that I help or the people that I choose to help because I know everybody doesn't have good intentions. And it was a matter of kind of learning discernment. And I had to do that through working with other people. So that's why I'm so good when it comes to like socializing and stuff now because I've literally applied these things with other people in a different state. Like I've been able to walk the life that I see for myself in a whole different state. And then to make matters even better, this is why I low key be pushing the idea of college. I don't think about it for the the finance, you know, idea of it or education really. I feel like is more to college than just trying to get a degree. Like I genuinely feel like the way that the college community is set up is how the world itself is meant to be. Like there's so much you can learn just from being around a group of people. There's so much you can learn just from being involved on campus. There's so much you can learn just from simply, you know, living in a community based area. Like everybody is willing to help, at least at my school. Everybody was so willing to help. Everybody was just willing to all share something within each other. It wasn't a a matter of trying to one up each other. It wasn't a matter of trying to portray certain images. Well, for certain people, it wasn't a matter of trying to stunt on people or trying to, you know, grind. Like it wasn't that. It was just so calm, so chill, and it literally felt like a family based environment. Which is why I don't care what nobody says. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it was a lot of people at my school that did not fuck with the school itself, but I fucked with it. I never forget, you know, my experience. I'll never forget the person that my school made me into be, made me the woman it made me. I'll never forget. I truly feel like I'm a very deserving and humble woman because of Dillard. So shout out to Dillard University. But no, yeah, I feel like if you genuinely want to, or if you see a different life for yourself, you kind of gotta, you know, you can walk in the image that you want to walk in the image that you see for yourself. But if it's necessary for you to go outside of your particular environment to do that, then do that. That might be the most beneficial thing. And that was probably my exposure therapy. I can't lie. And that's probably why it's just so easy for me now. You know, you get so used to walking in a certain light with other people that when you get around those old people that didn't respect certain shit about you, it's more easier for you to be like, I'm not resorting back to that lifestyle because I already begin walking in something that's comfortable for me. So you're not gonna allow people to continue to treat you the ways that they used to. You're not gonna allow certain things to continue to happen in the way that they used to. It'll be so much easier to talk or express or whatever the fuck you need to do towards those people that couldn't get it right. Bro, don't piss me off. Towards those people that couldn't get it right the first time. It'll be so much easier. I'm telling you. because they think something wrong with me now. And that's another thing. Like, I don't give a fuck. Back then, I probably would have been trying to explain to them. I probably would have been hurt, this and that and that and this. I don't give a fuck because I see that I'm really the only one that's applying work, the only one that's really trying to do stuff to, you know, become different as a person, or trying not to continue certain cycles that don't need to be continued, that need to be cut the fuck out. Like, I'm the only one that's putting forth that effort. And it feels, I don't know. I'm not gonna say I feel like that bitch, but I really be feeling like I get shit done, and that's just that. So that makes me feel very happy for myself. It makes me, it's validating more than any other type of validation that I ever tried to receive from anybody else. And I think, I really, really think that's why, because my birthday is coming up now, like, I'm not pressed about trying to celebrate it with these people, because I feel like, I don't know. Just the life that I'm walking is validating enough. The things that I've been able to accomplish is validating enough. The things that I'm planning to accomplish is validating enough. I don't feel like I have to go the extra mile. I feel like I'm just chilling now. That's really what the fuck I feel like. So yeah, no. Definitely get outside of your environment and do exposure therapy on yourself. I live a pretty good life now. I really, really do. It's so subtle, but it's peaceful. And then being able to walk in genuine peace and not really give a fuck about being bored because of it. I really do live a good life, and I'm thankful. I'm grateful. Thank God for my journey. It was all worth it. I can't lie to you. It genuinely was. But I know there's still more life to live. There's still more things to learn. And I just can't wait to see where it gets me. What else can I? Because I feel like, I really do feel like I'm in a good place right now. So, like, I'm wondering what else do life have in store for me. Like, it'll be so crazy seeing what else I could accomplish. And I already feel like I've mastered peace. I've already felt like I've mastered, you know, speaking up for myself or communicating. Well, I'm not gonna say I'm mastered communicating. I'm still working on it, but to a certain extent, I've mastered staying away from things that I know could get me in trouble. I've mastered, staying away from things that I know could lead me to a path of nothingness. I just feel like I'm a master. Yeah, that's just that though. But yeah, I'm grateful. Shout out to God. But that's that. Quick little yap sesh. I feel like I articulated my words very well out here too. I might have to make being outside a continuous thing when I'm talking, because it's just freeing thoughts. I don't feel like nothing's really coinciding with, like, my mental. Everything just feels so open. But yeah, that's that. Thank you for listening. If you did, I love you. Start venturing off. Do what you can for yourself. Yeah, I love you. Bye, baby.